welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to have you here. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right in. Quite frankly, you're giving other people's opinions too much credit. You're giving them way too much credit. Why are we sitting here getting all these opinions instead of listening to our own? Let's be honest, everybody has an opinion about something and anything. Okay? And so when you're listening to people's opinions, you really need to take it with a grain of salt. Everybody's opinion is not your business. What people think about what you're doing literally is not your business. Like, what does that have to do with you? Because once you gain these opinions and this information, now what you gonna do with it? How did it help you? How did it grow you? How is it changing the way that you show up in the world? So watch the opinions that you take in. I think the reason why it's important to kind of reevaluate the importance of other people's opinions is because people speak from their point of view. If I gave my opinion to someone, the only perspective that I have is as a Black woman in her 20s living in the southeast of America. That's the perspective that I have to offer you, as well as my other life experiences. That will be completely different from an Asian man that lives in Thailand and is 75 years old. We're going to have totally different perspectives. And opinions. So that's why you need to evaluate who is talking to you. Are they even in the position that you want to be in? Because they're speaking from their life and giving their projections onto you. And not that that's a negative thing, right? Because I've learned a lot from other people and their experiences as well, and it has helped me. But you have to look at the person and evaluate the person that you're speaking to and gathering their opinion. Everybody shouldn't have something to say about everything in your life. Not everybody. You do, what you say, what you wear, how you act. Everybody's going to have something to say about that. And it's going to be different. Person by person by person by person, it's going to change. I might tell you to wear a pink bag with an outfit. The next person going to tell you to wear a red one. The next one person going to tell you to wear a black one. So all these different opinions, what does it amount to? What is the point? What is the goal by gaining these opinions? These are the questions that you should ask yourself before you even get to asking anyone about their opinion. Because you need to know, why are you trying to gather this information? Why do you want their opinion? Do you want it for validation? Are you looking for confirmation? Are you just needing an outside opinion to kind of gauge some understanding or knowledge? Are you trying to make a decision? Like, why are you asking these people for their opinions? Personal life, online, in your family, with your friends, why are you asking for their opinions? Before you get to just jumping into like, oh, let me see what so-and-so thinks. Let me see what so-and-so thinks. Why? Why are you asking? And the reason why I feel like this is so important is because you're here to fulfill out your life. And getting all these different opinions on, oh, should you make this next move? Should you get this house? Should you move to this city? Should you do this or that? That's going to affect your life's path. And so you're not tuned in enough with you because you're tuned in with everybody else. Everybody else has to say so in what you do, what you wear, how your hair looks, what does your makeup look like? Do you even wear makeup? What perfume you wear? What shoes you put on? Why does everybody have something to say about what you're doing? It is misaligning you. And you got to get in alignment with yourself to know the path and direction in which you're supposed to be headed on. You have to listen more to yourself, get more in tune with you and God so that you know how to move forward instead of being like, oh, well, I wanted to do that, but so-and-so said I shouldn't, so now I'm not doing that. And here you are 10 later regretting the decision because you listened to somebody else. That sounds goofy. That sounds silly. The thing is when you go ask for opinions, say you're asking about an opinion on if you should go get a new job and start a new career or move to a new city or state. Some people are going to be like, oh yeah, you should do it. Some people are going to be like, oh, absolutely not, based on their life experience. So it really leaves you in the same place that you already were. Like some people saying yes, some people saying no. So it's better that you sit with yourself and decide, on your own, maybe get an opinion of people who are close to you living a life that you would like to live, get their opinion. But if you are asking someone who's never even moved, like visited another state, moved to another city or place before, they only stay within these certain parameters, why would you ask them? Of course they're going to tell you no. You could already know they're going to tell you no by what they've done in their own life. So yeah, they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable being in new places and seeing new things. So yeah, they're going to tell you, oh no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't move. You shouldn't do this and that. You go ask somebody who's had the same career and done the same thing for 50 years, hasn't changed the job, not the location, not nothing. Of course they're going to tell you, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. That's probably not a good idea. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Now what value did that give you? What all that did was place a new fear, new concern in your heart. And then it's like, you may go ahead and decide against their opinion anyway. So it's like, now it's kind of a slap in the face to the person that you asked the opinion of, because you didn't even go with what they said. So why did you even ask them? In society, we rely too much on other people's opinions. I think that you should have a good 2, maybe 3 people that you can go to when you're really in need of some answers and stuff like that. But learn to trust yourself. That's really a huge part of this message, is that you have to learn to trust yourself, because other people's opinions shouldn't be like your next go-to, your next thought, your next this, your next that. To be a huge people pleaser, I used to try to do what would please others. Like, oh, I want your opinion because I want to make a choice that's comfortable for you and for me. Oh, I want your opinion because, oh, I just want to do the right thing. Other people can't tell you what the right thing is for you, babe. That's what I've learned. People cannot tell you. I've gathered opinions on stuff. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, should I get this shirt or this shirt? And they tell me this shirt and I'm like, yeah, that's solidified that I actually wanted the other one. You know, and it's like, girl, you already knew. You already knew. What are you sitting around and wasting and asking these people time when you're not even going to listen half the time? Do all of that for what? To learn to go with our guts a little bit more. Don't limit yourself by what other people have to say about you or have to say about what you're doing. Opinions on something that you're doing, it should be like 5 to 10% of the reason why you say yes or no to that thing. It should not have some great large impact that's like, well, now I ain't doing it because so-and-so said. It should be like, oh, okay, well, you know, my friend did say, yeah, that was a good idea too. I agreed, and then my other friend agreed too. It seems like I'm in alignment with myself, with God, and others around me, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But if it's like, I said yes, you feel like you got confirmation from elsewhere that says yes, and then somebody say no, and then you don't do it, that's not a good reason. That is not a good reason at all. If you are a poor decision maker and you have to get other people's opinions because of that reason, that is a little bit different. You need to work on your decision making skills. And the way to do that is by making small decisions. I kind of grew up without the option of, like, for example, my dad was the type of person that's like, we eating this for dinner and that's all we eating. I'm not stopping nowhere else. We're not cooking nothing else. Like, that's what we having for dinner. So once I got into adulthood, I kind of learned like, dang, you really have to make a lot of choices all the time. And I don't feel like I was comfortable in making those choices because I wasn't used to having the option to make those choices. And when you get in that space, you kind of just lean on other people because that's how it was presented to you your whole life. As a kid growing up, you may have been told you need to dress a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way. And so now once you become an adult and you have the choice to show up in whatever way you want, act however you want, eat whatever you want, dress however you want, do your hair however you want, it's like, oh my God, it's all these choices. It's all these choices everywhere and I don't know what to do. So let me ask. Let me ask because I'm more familiar with other people making decisions for me than me making decisions for myself. I've already experienced that path, and once you get in this place where it's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that for everybody else? I'm listening to everybody else's opinions and I'm not doing anything that I actually want to do for myself, or majority of the things that I do aren't really for me. And you got to start doing stuff for you. You have to start figuring out what are your heart's desires. How do you want to show up in the world? What is important to you and why? And start moving and making your decisions that align with that. Start wearing the clothes that make you feel your best, no matter what that looks like or who said what about it. Because they should be minding their business and they should be so involved in themselves and in their lives and being true to them that it really shouldn't bother you too much. If people got a whole lot to say about you, they don't have enough to say about themselves. They don't have enough going on with themselves. People shouldn't just be offering up their opinion. It really shouldn't be a thing like that. I mean, if somebody asks you their opinion, you should give it to them, and you should give it to them straight. But as far as you're collecting a whole data research assignment on one little decision. You're gathering as much info that exists. Make the decision. Make the decision and do what you feel like is right for you at that time. Somebody else's opinion isn't going to make your decision more right or more wrong. Sometimes you just got to go through life and F around and find out. That's sometimes just what it takes. No one is on your assignment. So what may seem questionable to someone else may be exactly what you're supposed to do because it's your assignment. It's what you were placed on earth to do, or it's what is supposed to be along your path. It's important that you know why you're asking someone their opinion. If you have a good group around you, if you have good counsel around you, if you know all those things are true, then it's okay to ask. But I still think that you have to be rooted in yourself, because sadly people and things do change constantly for whatever reason. And you can't be like, every time I make a choice, I always ask so-and-so. And now they're not here. Now they passed. Now we not friends. Now we not this. Now we not that. And you don't know how to make a decision anymore. You have to be comfortable with yourself and with your decisions so that you have the ability, no matter what's going on, to be able to keep moving forward and keep making decisions and keep living the life that you're supposed to live, because you can trust yourself. You can know who you are and know that, you know what, I make good decisions. And I don't have to have everybody's opinion on it to know it's a good decision. And there's some fear around that a little bit, because it's like, dang, well, what if there is a better way? You know, sometimes people ask opinions like, is there a different way that I should be doing this? A better way that I should be doing this? Then yes, go to the expert or in that area of your life. Me personally, if you have bad credit, I'm not going to you for credit advice. You don't dress how I would prefer to dress, I'm not coming to you about what I should wear. Now, on the other hand, if you got the best finances that of a person that I know, if you have the exact career that I'm looking to get into, but guess what? Knocking at that door, asking for help and asking for your opinion, because you are actually in the place that I am trying to go. So you have done some things that may save me some time. You have expertise in this area that you may actually have something to offer me. It's not just your opinion, it's knowledge, it's skill set, it's talent, it's it's all those things. It's talent, it's skill, it's wisdom, it's knowledge in showing me, oh yeah, this is an easy way to do this, or this is how I did it. Hey, it might work for you too. But if you go into somebody that and for somebody's opinion and they ain't done nothing that you're trying to do, what the hell is they finna offer you? What are they finna offer you? Except for a couple of thoughts out of their ass, to be honest. A couple of thoughts that they just kind of, you asked the question and probably didn't put much thought to it and said, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say back. Okay. Sitting over here saying, you know what, you're right. And making your life choices based on that. Have you ever considered how much people are even considering what you're asking them? Are they taking it as serious as you are taking their response? Some of this is an evaluation of the people around you. But even with the people around you, I feel like a lot of it is just being secure in yourself and your choices and knowing that you are safe to make decisions and you make good decisions. I used to be really afraid, like, oh my gosh, am I making the right choice? Like, how do you know what to do? You don't. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes all you can do is make the right decision with the most information that you have at that time and just say yes, just say no, and move on. It's not always going to be crystal clear. At the end of the day, it is awesome to have a group of people that you can rely on. But at the end of the day, when the day go in, you are the captain of your life. You are deciding where to go. And even if you think about a captain of a boat or a plane, they might have a co-captain. They might have a crew that helps them. But at the end of the day, they're putting in the coordinates. They're saying, no, we should go, or no, we shouldn't go when a storm is coming. They are guiding the boat or the plane to the destination. They know where they're headed. And so your co-pilot might say, hey, yo, I think it's going to be a little windy up there. You might should check. Should we still go this way? You might look and say, oh, okay, you right. We still going to go, but we going to actually take a right instead of a left to get there. Cool. I'm not saying that other people's opinions don't have value. I'm just saying make sure that you are gathering valuable opinions, but also taking them still with a grain of salt. Taking them with a grain of salt, because I feel like you will lose yourself consuming so much from other people all the time. Just all the time. In the day and age that we live in, there's always all this. Everybody got something to say. Everybody. All the time. Everybody. And you need to know your own voice, and you need to be able to trust your own voice so that you can decide where you're landing, where that boat is going, baby. Because it's your life at the end of the day, and you have to be happy with the choices and decisions that you make. And you can't start getting mad once your life isn't turning out how you want. You've been like, I've been listening to everybody. That's your problem. That's your problem, is that you've been listening to everybody. You need to get to listening to yourself. That gives you so much freedom. There's so much freedom in that, and that you can wake up and make whatever choice that you want, and you can see the results of that, and you can say, you know what? I know I've made these decisions and they've brought me to this place, and I feel good about this. I want to continue doing this. Or you know what? I brought myself here. I did this, and this ain't it. So I need to start doing something else. You can't blame so and so. Well, I was following up them, and so that's why I'm here. No, it shifts the responsibility to you. You're responsible for yourself. Stop blaming everybody else for everything. You have to get up and say, I am doing XYZ. That's it. That's all. Getting people's opinions, really be clear on the reason that you are even engaging with them about their opinion on that subject matter. Maybe they are just a dear friend and you like to have your friends' opinions, but maybe there's other reasons. Maybe you don't trust yourself the way that you think you do. Maybe you're uncomfortable making decisions. The person that you're asking is really good at whatever you're asking them about, and so you just want, to gain some understanding. It's perfectly okay to ask someone about their opinion. I just think that you have to know why, and kind of evaluate how often you're doing it, and are you even making decisions by yourself ever. Coming from a person who used to a person who used to really try to people please and make sure people were comfortable with my choices, hiding kind of who I was, really to make other people comfortable, versus now being a person that does what I want to do and stands on business behind it. I just see a greater happiness inside of myself. I want to offer to you all the things that have helped me to accomplish that. Now, do with it as you please, but for me, actually doing the things that I wanted to do without considering other people's opinions, not their feelings, their opinions. That's the way I roll now, and I feel like it has helped me become more secure in myself, more confident in my decision-making skills, knowing that I can make the wrong or the right choice and everything is still going to be okay. Life isn't going to fall apart just because I made a decision that didn't have other people's opinions added into it, So I'll leave you with this. When you want to ask someone's opinion this week, this month, whenever, just consider first asking yourself why you're asking them, and what would you even want their answer to be? Because sometimes you have your answer, you're just looking for confirmation or to see if someone agrees with you. And that's another issue that we would have to get into that kind of deals with insecurities of, why do you need people to agree with you? Anyways, I hope that from this video you gain to learn to trust yourself in the choices that you make without the judgment of others, the fear of what other people will think, their opinions, and knowing that you're doing what's right for you. Simply learning to go off your gut feeling, deciding and making a choice and leading your life. You are in charge of your life, so lead your life exactly where you want it to go and take responsibility for that. You got this. You got this. Decision by decision, little by little, you will be exactly where you want to be because you've decided so. Okay, I really hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments or what your favorite part of the video was, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay beautiful until next time. Bye.